Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a requested video, which is to make a Chocoflan. For those of you who do not know what it is chocolate cake and flan, hence the name Chocoflan. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be chocolate cake. Like you can make it with strawberry cake, vanilla cake, red velvet cake, any cake you want, honestly, and it's gonna come out the same, except the flavor is just gonna be a little different. Unfortunately, my original intro got lost somewhere. I'm still working on my editing. I am still not the best when it comes to it, and somehow it got lost or it just wasn't working. So this is my remix. So let's get started with the original video. To get started, you will need a pan. I will be using a bundt cake pan. You will also need some cooking spray, some chocolate cake mix, and for our flan part you will be needing lechera. It doesn't have to necessarily be lechera, you can actually use condensed milk, it's pretty much the same thing. Some evaporated milk, some vanilla, and 3 eggs. You will also need some brown sugar. So you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. While the oven is preheating, you will want to get a little pan, and then you are going to add 2/3 of a cup of water. You will want to add 1 cup of brown sugar. And we are going to wait until it starts bubbling up, and it will take a couple minutes for it to start bubbling up. While we are waiting for our brown sugar to pretty much bubble up, we are going to spray our pan with the cooking spray. And you want to be quite generous when spraying your pan. You don't want anything to stick. Okay, now that our brown sugar is all bubbled up, we will be putting it on our bundt pan. Okay, so carefully you are going to be adding the melted brown sugar around your pan. And a cleaning tip, you might want to rinse this right after you pour it out, because once it dries, it will be super duper hard to scrub off. So go ahead and rinse this right away. This is how our brown sugar should look after it's been poured into our pan. So now we are going to get started with our flan part. So we're going to add our evaporated milk, our condensed milk, aka lechera, our 3 eggs, and about a tablespoon of vanilla. And now we blend. So now that we have this all nice and blended, we are going to add it to our pan. So now for our cake mix part, I will be following the instructions that are in the back, which is a cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. Let's start doing that. While I am doing that, I am going to tell you a little story time. So when I was pregnant, I had pregnancy brain to the max. I feel like I still do, but I feel like I had it more when I was pregnant. And so one day I decided to bake a cake with my nephew. So I stopped at my mom's for whatever reason, and I remember that my sister didn't have any eggs. So my mom was like, pues llévate huevos aquí. And I was like, okay. So she put them in a bag. She gave me 3 eggs, and I took them in a bag. So I went to my sister's. So I'm at my sister's house, and I start baking the cake with my nephew. We add the oil, we add the water, we add, what else do you add? But anyways, we mix it. And then, so we basically put the cake in the oven, and then I turn around and I realized that I never put the eggs in my cake. And then I tell my sister, I was like, dude, like I did not put the freaking eggs. So I literally take it out like right away, and then I put it back in a bowl, and I just add the 3 eggs and I mix it. Thankfully the cake came out pretty good, but my pregnancy brain was horrible. So I'm gonna go here whisking my chocolate batter, and it seems to be pretty much done. I've been baking cakes since I was so small. I remember I would just crave them and I would just bake a cake. My mom actually taught us since I was like really young how to bake cakes, so baking cakes has always kind of been my forte. Decorating them, not so much, but seriously, my cakes come out pretty amazing. People always ask me to bake cakes for them, and yeah. So now we are going to add our cake mix on top of our flan. And you kind of just want to do this, go all around. So now that you put your cake mix in, it should look a little something like this. Now that it's pretty much ready to be popped in the oven, we are going to want to place it on top of another little pan filled with some water. Unfortunately, this is the only pan that I have that will pretty much work with this, but it's totally fine. It will work. If you have a bigger pan, go ahead and use that. So our Chocoflan is now out of the oven. I baked it for about 55 minutes. And a way to know that your Chocoflan is ready is you just get a knife, a clean knife. You poke it through, pull it back out, and it's literally nice and clean. Another thing that I like to do while it's still hot is I like to pull the edges, only to make sure que está bien despegado de las orillas. So I'm about to flip my cake, and I just realized that I literally have no flat surface to flip my cake. So I'm gonna be using this plate. Everybody say hi to little Zelina. Hi! Hi people! There we have it, guys. Our beautiful Chocoflan. It's still a little hot. I can literally see the steam coming out of it, but it came out pretty good. So there you guys have it, our video of our Chocoflan. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time.